Alrighty, folks, we are going to talk about something that Thach Nguyen, the amazing Thach Nguyen, shared with Adrian years ago called be, do, have, and the importance of living via that be, do, have. But before we do that, I want to check in with Adrian about Southern California real estate because I just had a conversation with an amazing Austin, Texas real estate agent, and I am now nervous for us or for March sales. So, Adrian, I'm going to pull a quick left turn on you real quick, talk
Yeah.
about February and March, and then we'll get into be, do, have from Thach Nguyen. You ready?
What's going on, everyone? Let's go. Let's
So
go.
I just had a conversation with Danielle from Austin, Texas, and she let me know, at least in Austin, Texas, the actual closings in March versus February are down significantly, greater than 10%. And that got me thinking. February closings were January contracts, and January contracts were obviously low interest rates, at least low compared to where we've been. So I'm wondering, is Southern California seeing the same trend as Austin, where closings are down? So I was hoping you could look at all Southern California for me, and then maybe Orange County only for February and then March month to date. What are you seeing?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm curious. Well, I'll get into these numbers, and then after, I'm curious to know what happened in Austin. I mean, obviously, I'm going to watch the video, but that's
Yeah,
interesting.
we'll do that. Yeah. So if
All
you're going
right.
to look at
So,
all of Southern California, that's a big plot of dirt, right?
yeah, it's a big plot of dirt. And keep in mind, guys, that our MLS, we're with CVAR, or I'm sorry, it's pretty much all of, I mean, it's like Kern County all the way down, right?
Yeah. All the
So
way to
we
San Diego, right?
All the way. Let's see. Yeah, all the way to San Diego. We got San Diego in here, Santa Barbara, Santa Cruz,
Yeah.
San
All
Luis
that.
Obispo.
Yeah.
So if we run all of February, right? If we run all of February, there was a total of 13,100 closings in
Okay.
all of February.
Okay. So if we're going to do that same search from March 1st month to date, where are we at?
March 1st, for the entire area, we were at 14,000, I'm sorry, 12,417.
All right. So you're down a little bit, but you still have a couple of days left, right? You
So,
still have 3 business days.
yeah.
Okay. So that's not as bad. Austin, Texas, I forget the exact numbers, but actually I may have wrote them down. No, I didn't write them down. Something like 800 closings in February and like 650 this far. So, we're talking
Oh,
15, 20%.
oh,
Uh,
wow.
yeah, rates really matter. So
Yeah.
let's change it up because Austin is, I don't know, an expensive part of Texas. So instead of doing
It
all of Southern California, which includes the Inland Empire and all of that, what if we just did Orange County?
Yeah. So if we look at Orange County for just February, from February 1st to February 29th, we had 1,423 properties that closed.
Okay. All right. So if we did that same search, Orange County only, March month to date, what are we at?
1,428, trending up,
Ooh,
trending up.
that's interesting because again, Austin, Texas, median home price roughly 450, 500. Orange County median home price $1 million, million one, something like that. Um, I'm guessing Orange County has a lot of cash buyers. Not sure, maybe.
Yeah, a little bit, but you know what, and this is just, I'm going to go out on a limb here.
Sure.
What we've seen in the last 2 weeks, well, when did the National Association of Realtors drop that bomb? Was it 2 weeks
Last
ago?
Friday. Last Friday.
Okay, so since last Friday, which I guess it really, because that would be pendings, not closings,
Yeah, it'd be
right?
pendings. Yeah.
Yeah, so that statement would not be true. What we have noticed though was we have noticed a huge uptick in showing and pending transactions.
Well,
You,
that's because rates matter. I mean, I keep harping on this, and I think you just gave it to me. Until last week's, yes, the NAR reported that 4.38 million blowout number. But what
right.
also happened? Rates fell below 7. That's what
Ah,
happened last week. Rates below 7, good. Rates above 7, bad. So marginal demand, even in Orange County, they go shopping sub 7. They stop shopping above 7. I think it's that
makes total
simple.
sense. Makes
Yeah.
total, and we are seeing that. We had a property, a flip of ours that was not moving. We accepted a low offer because we didn't have anything. We didn't have anything. Well, long story short, the buyers start playing some games. So we're like, let's throw it active. They're still closing. They're going to close tomorrow. but let's throw it active. We threw it active 2 days ago. We had 5 showings yesterday. We have 4 showings this morning, right? And I'm like, can we cancel? Can we?
Yeah, dude. I mean, rates matter. Like going out at above 7 is tough. Below 7, it's not bad. So, all right. Well, thank you for doing that. I know that was a quick right turn because I just literally got off the phone call with Danielle, who's amazing in Austin. But let's talk about be, do, have. Let's talk about Thach Nguyen. Let's actually go back to you meeting Thach, right? When did that happen?
I met Thach in 2000 and let's see, 2012,
Okay.
2013. So Shaddy Bazzi, shout out to Shaddy Bazzi. He's a NLP coach down here in Southern California. So Shaddy Bazzi was my first coach. I remember role playing. I used to do tons of role playing. When I mean tons of role play, I mean 2 hours of role play every day, chancing my scripts, going back and forth as a new agent. I didn't have the verbal communication piece down, and I needed to work on that. So I remember Shaddy walking in the room, and he's like, "You're going to be a millionaire," and I'm like a little, 20-year-old kid. What the hell do you mean? Right. And he's
Yeah.
like, just based off your actions, I can see that. So I hire Shaddy. Shaddy introduces me to Thach in it has to be 2013 because I met
Okay.
Shaddy in 2012. Yeah, in 2013. And I call Shaddy and I'm like, dude, or I'm sorry, I call Thach. I'm connecting with them. I go, I'd love to connect with you. And he goes, if you want to connect with me, get on a plane, fly out here. I have an event called the Gift Event. I would love for you to come with it and we can spend some time together. Say no more. Got on a plane, flew out to Seattle, met with him, went to the Gift Event. And that's when he really started to share this whole be, do, have journey with me, right? He saw that I was doing a lot of work. He saw that I wanted to have, the things that everybody have, right? But he noticed that who I was being wasn't in alignment to what I wanted and to what I was doing. He shared something with me that really changed the game for me. And he helped me understand that most people run a do, have, be journey or a have, do, be journey, right? Where like being is always the last thing on the plate. And it's like, well, once I have the car, then I can start to do the things I want to do. Or once I have the rentals, then I can finally start to be a giving person. And then I can start to go do the things that I want to do. Right. Or if I do the things that I need to do, then I'll eventually have what I want. And then once I have what I want, then I can go be that person, right? I can go be that generous person. And the reality of the situation is you never get to that being because you were never practicing it from the beginning.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of this, a lot of things I've heard over the years about money. Like money doesn't make you one way or another. It just accentuates who you are. And I think there's so much truth in that. I've met a lot of rich people who are assholes. They're just bigger assholes,
Yeah,
right? I
100%.
met I met some very giving folks who are not millionaires. And when they become one, I'm convinced they will continue to be giving.
Yep.
Um, so I just love this beat you have. And I really think it's interesting because Thach Nguyen kind of 2013, he's on his come up, right? He's in the game. He's already a millionaire, probably multimillionaire at that point, but he's not Thach Nguyen today, right? The 100 million, 9-figure guy. But Thach's story is so amazing, right? Coming from I think it was Vietnam with $100 in his pocket, living in 6 people in a house or whatever it was. And the craziest thing about Thach that I still get a chuckle out of? He still door knocks.
Every
He's
day.
just he's just who he
He's
is.
crazy. I mean, he shows up in a Rolls Royce, but he's still door knocking.
He parks it at the end of the street.
and
Yeah,
and
because
it's
yeah. Go
that
ahead.
that event that I went to was called the Gift, and the gift was to give, right? Was to give a gift. Like your gift can be a smile. Your gift can just be being a good vibe to someone. That's a gift because that vibe's going to, transfer off. And to me, I was in an environment at that time where giving wasn't there, right? And then I remember on that trip, he met with me and he said, Adrian, you you are you are compensated in direct proportion to those that you serve selflessly.
Yeah.
And that was like, to me at that time, I hadn't been around, that was like it was like, yes,
Yeah.
that makes sense, right? Let's give more, right? To receive more, but don't give with the expectation to receive. Give
Mhm.
because you truly want to give. And then that goes back down to who you're being, because who you're being is a contribution. Now I'm no longer being a taker and I'm
Mhm.
being more of a contributor. And what I've noticed, Zuber, is the more I contribute, the more people want to contribute to me.
Yeah, there's really a lot of truth in that, and I'll kind of bring this up. You know, there's a lot of people I'm pushing to kind of start a channel, Gen X, baby boomers, because you have a story, you have a passion that you could share with the world. And I really am big on this because I think if you start building it now and you chase impact, you chase giving, you chase creating a tribe, your community, the money will come. And the
Always.
beauty about doing it now is you don't need the money. So you can do what one rental at a time is, right? One rental at a time is a 5-year journey, brick by brick, slowly, one day at a time. And it's impressive today, but what could it be in 5 more years if we keep
100%.
doing it, right? Um, it's an awesome feeling when you don't chase money. And I think that's what a lot of people get wrong. And this is why I love Thach. Thach is amazing because yes, he has the toys. He's earned the toys,
Every single one of them.
but he still gives every day. He
Yep.
still is. That's who he is at his core.
Yep.
And yeah, if you guys haven't followed Thach Nguyen, follow him on Instagram. You'll see some crazy stuff. But again, listen to his message.
Yeah.
Listen to his message.
It's huge. And if you meet Thach, you'll see he's nothing but a giver. I
Mm,
remember he came down most recently, actually, a couple of months ago. He was on like a 5-day tour. You can see it. He is dead tired, right?
mm,
But he shows up and he gives it his all. He contributes in a massive, massive way. And then let's look at the one reno at a time community. Let's look at the one reno at a time YouTube station, YouTube channel. That was nothing but giving.
oh yeah,
Zuber wasn't compensated a ridiculous. I don't even think to this day you're compensated.
dude, I did 1,200 videos before I made a penny.
That is correct. So 1,200, you
1,200.
guys just think about this. 1,200 videos of giving, of contribution back to the market, back to you, the viewer, back to everybody with no expectation in return. Like, if we could all live that way, right? I guarantee you, your life would be so much simpler and easier. The things you want would come to you much more naturally, right? To get
Yeah.
speakers at the most recent event you did, I guarantee
Mhm.
you was not hard. And you probably had a
No.
whole nother lineup if you wanted to of
Yeah.
speakers because of all of the work that you've done.
Yeah. No, it was first off, love the speakers, love putting it together. You're right. I had a long list of folks that I had to say no to because we just didn't have time. We
Right.
just it just flat out ran out of time. I'm
And
looking for a quote from Chris Williams. I'm hoping I can find it. Oh, here it is. I want to hit you with this. Now, I don't think this actually is Chris Williams' quote, but it's where I heard it first, and I don't know who to cite before that because I didn't write it down. Chris Williams said, "The magic you are looking for is in the work you are avoiding."
so good.
How about a smack across the face? That one's a gut punch to me, and I'm not afraid of work.
Yep.
I'm like, damn, Chris, why do you got to hit him like that?
So, and it's so true. I see these. I hate to pick on Gen Z, but
Hey,
Jesus
come on, go
Christ,
ahead.
like they
Hey, you were young once too.
but I also understood the fundamental of hard work, right? Like, some of these Gen Zs just don't, and you guys just don't understand, like, just put the work in. As the hat says, do the work, or at
Yes.
rule number one. We talk
Yep.
about this all the time. If you
Yep.
do the work, if you get after it every single day, I guarantee you it's going to happen. It may
Yeah.
not happen as fast as you want it to happen, but it's
Oh,
eventually going to happen. There's this persona in this new generation that thinks that they can just get what they want without having to, they can play video games, and it's not going to happen, guys. I'm sorry. It's there. The work ethic has definitely dropped significantly in this world.
mm.
Maybe not so much in other countries because they know what it's like, but definitely in the United States.
Yeah. It's really funny because again, I've been preaching this do the work thing for 5 or 6 years, and the 10-year journey, and all of these things. It is. I know it's easy to pick on the Gen Z, but there's plenty of Gen X's and baby boomers and millennials who I mean, how many times have people come to me and said, "What's the secret?" Like the answer is there are no secrets. You get focused, you have a daily discipline, you do it ungodly amount of days in a row, and eventually you find a great deal. It's
Yep.
just a numbers game.
Yep.
The other thing, I'm preparing to speak at WealthCon, right? Ryan Pineda's event, and
That's right.
He has Tim Grover coming. And so I'm building my presentation around how to be legendary. And the first slide is a list of things that I've done in my life that are legendary. And then it's 3 steps to be legendary. And I got to tell you, I'm going to make a lot of you soft people, you know, uncomfortable on purpose.
So
Because I'm
good.
going to tell you exactly how we did it. And it's not work-life balance. It's not, 7 streams of income. It's not comfort. Legendary doesn't happen in comfort.
Nope.
Do you want it or not? Do you just want to talk a good game and, sit on your ass and smoke weed and play video games? That's great. If you're happy, by all means. But don't tell me you want to be legendary if that's what you're doing.
Yeah. And don't complain when you see other people have what you have and you're sitting here blaming someone else, because it's all in your actions. Right.
And if you are out there and you want to be legendary, but you just can't break free, I'll give you rule number one. Rule number one, this is a gift from Ryan Pineda's event. Fire your friends. Your friends are freaking anchors, just holding you back. You have friends that like to smoke weed and play video games.
Yep.
If you hang around them while you're trying to be legendary, guess what? You're going to smoke weed and play video games and not be legendary. It's freaking A, man. Fire your friends.
So this is not rehearsed, guys. And this is kind of crazy that Zuber said this, because one of the first things that I did, Zuber, when I started my entrepreneurial journey, I'll never forget this. All my friends used to, play beer pong during the week. Beer pong was big back then, right? Beer pong, beer bongs, right? And I remember sitting in one of a family member's living room, and they all have a band. They're all sitting there smoking weed. It's like 2:30 in the afternoon. And I realized
2:30 in the afternoon.
at 2:30 in the, I'm like, what is going on? The next day, I got a piece of paper. I draw a line down the middle. I put a P and I put an N. These are all of the positive friends in my life that are going to get me somewhere if I stayed around them. These are all the negative friends in my life that if I continue to hang out with them, I'm probably going to go down the wrong path. So I
No,
sent
you will go down the wrong path.
Yeah, yes, I will.
No, probably.
I sent a text message out, a couple of group texts to these people saying, hey guys, I'm going on a journey. And I don't know how long it's going to take. I'll never forget this text. I don't know how long it's going to take. Unfortunately, I cannot go party with you guys anymore. Please do not invite me anywhere. My head is down. I'm getting to work. If you guys are there when I lift my head up, something along those lines. I want to find the text. I have all my old phones, so I have to be able to find the text. And I got to copy it. There were only 2 friends that responded to that text.
Wow.
Those 2 friends are the only friends that I hang out with to this day, and they both happen to be millionaires.
Yeah. Well, let me put this in scale. So those group texts that you sent out, you sent those probably to what, 20 people, 30, 50? I mean, how big a list?
Yeah. It was at least 20 people. It was at least 20 different friends. I had a big group back then because
you had a posse. Yeah. I got it. Yeah. And then you send that out. A couple of people reply, basically saying something like, "We support you. We want to go on the journey too," or something like that. And you look back, and those guys are millionaires, and the others probably not so much.
Nope. Well, everyone talks shit about me, first of all.
Of course they did.
Right,
oh, dude, you were the talk of the town for 48 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Adrian's a loser. He thinks he's big timing us. He'll be right back. You could just make up the talk track. They were talking smack. Oh, it was ugly.
Yep. And then, it's funny. A few of them, I want to say in the last 2 years, reached out and goes, hey, dude, I didn't realize what you were saying, and I'm so proud of you. Right. And that was cool. I had a few of them that were like, I'm so proud of you. And then some of the other ones, their ego are just so big. I see them at parties from time to time, or, because the
gatherings.
The groups still all talk. And I'll see them and you can hear the voices underneath the breath. You could see it, right? You could feel it. And it's okay. It's okay. But for anybody listening to this call, if you're in that position, there is nothing wrong with you guys sending a text, letting people know, setting some boundaries, because they are not going to pay your bills. They're not going to help you get you to where you want to go. And I would still be living where I grew up had I not done that. Like,
Yeah.
but you guys, like, they're like there's
Ooh,
like that's
wow.
the
It's the
harbor.
marina.
Like I would not be here. Like, thank God
Yeah.
I would not be here had I not send
Yeah.
that text.
Oh no. Yeah. Absolutely not. No, again, if you want to be legendary, again, I'm still putting it together. But it's really is that simple. You got to fire your friends. You can't like the journey to be legendary takes work, many twists and turns. It doesn't feel good. It's not easy. You don't even see momentum until months, years later.
Yep.
And you got to fire your friends. Just fire your friends. And I just feel like I'm in a giving mood. I'll give you number two. You got to get in new rooms.
So
You
good.
got to find the people that want to go your direction.
So good.
Right. So again, I've got more coming on this topic, but yeah, I've got 25 minutes and it's really funny. My second slide says goal for presentation to change your life. So I'm going to try to change some lives in 25 minutes.
I freaking love it. Share it with me before you go.
There you go.
I
There you go. Actually, I have it done. I'll show you offline
I'd
when
love
we're
to.
not recording because I do want it to be fresh for Ryan's event. But
Yeah. I'm
that's gonna be
trying to
pretty
make it
cool.
out, but we have the grow with video, I think, the next week. So
Yeah. Yep.
uh,
Growth video.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. So
I'm trying to fit 2 in 1. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I'll for sure be there for growth video. So you're going,
yeah.
right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I bought my big ass expensive ticket. You bet I'm going.
Heck
Yeah.
yeah. Let's go.
Um. So again, Thach Nguyen, amazing individual. He's been doing it a long time. The other thing I'll say about Thach is, my opinion. I've not heard him say this, but it's just my opinion. I'm gonna guess he's only got a couple of more years of giving. His boys are getting of age, and then I think he's gonna enjoy the fruits of his labor. So if you happen to be at an event or hear of an event he is speaking at, I'm gonna guess you've only got a couple more years to soak that in. I hope I'm wrong because obviously he's a young man in great shape, but I just get the feeling he's going to be like, I did it, I gave everything I had, and now it's about my wife and I. You know,
Yeah.
we'll see.
A group of us were talking about that. I'm like, you think that would be? And then a couple of guys were like, no way, dude. He loves it too much. He loves it. And I'm like, what about his family? I don't know. I'm there with you. I think, I think he might. Thatch, if you're watching this, let us
You let
know.
us know. Send us a text. You got our numbers. Um, but yeah, you're right. I mean, I certainly think he's not going to go to be a billionaire, right? He's got $100 million or whatever it is. I think he's good there. I think the day of Thach doing, project after project after project, that will likely be over. Could you still see Thach speak at 3 or 4 things a year? I hope so. I hope so. Because he's just there's almost no better story than where he came from to where he's at. It is do the work. It is what is it? Go do have or go be have?
Be do have.
Be do have, thank you. There's so many Thach isms. Um Yeah, I just love I love the guy's message and what he does. So
And for everybody listening, the key word here is be, number one. And then this is really important. Have is at the end for a reason. Because some of you, and you guys don't get me wrong, I fell into this trap. Thankfully, I have some good people around me that were able to pull me out of it super fast, right? Appreciate you, Zuber. Don't get me wrong, we all fall into this. But let's
yeah,
just talk to you gentlemen out there real quick. You want the fancy watch, you want the fancy car. Have is at the end for a reason. Thach
yeah.
doesn't pay for those cars.
No.
His renters do. His rental property pays for every single one of the cars he has. I remember when I bought a race spec Aston Martin, and Thach looked at me and he goes, "You're only at 3 units. What are you doing?
What are you doing? Yeah.
What are you doing?" And he goes, "Okay, maybe it covers half the payment. What are you doing?" And you guys, I sold that car. I sold that car not that long after I had that conversation because I had to realize like this is not the path. I am putting have in front of it all. And that's not
Yeah.
the goal here. It will come. It will come.
Yeah.
Stay true to the path. Do the work. Be a good person. Get after it. Eventually it's
Yeah.
going to come, but do it the right way because and Zuber can vouch for this. how many people had to sell their cars when the market freaking tanked? How
Oh,
many people, when the
dude,
market came down, Lambos were for sale, were on sale, Rolexes were on sale. The real estate industry right now, with the big change that the NAR recently dropped, you guys, real estate agents are selling their Ferraris that they couldn't afford.
yeah. Yeah, the fake entrepreneurs or fakepreneurs, it was easy for a couple of years and it's not easy anymore. And there's going to be a lot of people spanked. So um
The
yeah, if you ever
crypto
wanted a
bust.
toy, yeah, the crypto bust.
The
Oh,
crypto bust, same thing. We saw the same thing. Every crypto guy had a freaking Rolls Royce.
yeah, it's crazy. Crazy. Be do have. Have is last, folks. Do yourself a favor. Follow the one and only Adrian Hernandez. Also, check out Thach Nguyen. You will not be disappointed. And wow, some of those cars are amazing. Adrian, where can people find you?
Check me out, guys. Instagram, Adrian Hernandez, YouTube, Adrian Hernandez. Appreciate y'all. Let's go.
Let's go. Thanks, buddy.